What are your thoughts about your team's performance here today?
Well, SIUE preseason pick to win the league. Sharonda Butt's the preseason player of the year and is a very extremely talented player. And they're a good team. They're in first place for a reason. I thought we came out and played with some energy, but we have to be smarter at the start of the game. Our starts the last two games have been better than the previous two, uh, and we've had more energy. But like tonight, we gave up a first play of the game. We gave up a straight line drive to the best player in the league. She's left-handed. She's on the left wing, and we just let her go straight to the rim to make a layup, and then you're down to start the game. 10 seconds into the game. The clock didn't start, but they determined it was 10 seconds into the game. Uh,
That's
you know,
ABC for you.
and that type of thing, you can't have that. And, but we got back, we played with energy, tied up at the end of the first quarter, even though we were making a lot of mental mistakes on the defensive end. We, just and it's simple things that can be easily fixed. Like, okay, this player shot fakes, but she can't shoot. She's a non-shooter from the perimeter, but she shot fakes, and for some reason people bite on it and come up out of their stance, and then she just wants to get closer to score, where she can score. And then we have 5 2 point guards, and she shot fakes, and they're jumping up like they're going to block shots on the perimeter, and then she's going to the rim. Mistakes like that. That wasn't the only thing. That's just a glaring one. Things that are simple that you've gone over and over. Uh, you're not going to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes. But those types of mistakes, if we eliminate them, then we can play with the best teams in our league. We easily could have won this game. It's a one-possession game at the end. Had a good look from our best percentage three-point shooter at the end. So, what if we played without those types of mistakes that are easy to take care of? Just don't try to block jump shots on the perimeter. We stress that every day. Okay, so if we do those things, but it really came down in that second quarter, our energy level completely dropped off. And, for whatever reason, we get down 6 to 8, and everybody's heads are hanging, and we're telling them you're fine. We're at a little bit of foul trouble. I think Kyra had picked up her second and was on the bench, but you're fine. You're in the game. It's a 40-minute game. People are going to make runs. Like we talk about that all the time. You're okay. But it's just like everybody gets so down on themselves, and then they start feeling sorry for themselves just for a few minutes. But against good teams, it wears you out. So we end up being down 12 at the half because of that lull in energy. And then that affects you on both ends. You're not sprinting back as hard in transition defense. You're not executing as well in half-court offense, those type things. First half we gave up 10 points off turnovers. Second half we gave up 0. Thing I'm proud of, rebounding was even. Told the team at the last media timeout, 4:44 to go in the game, you got to out-rebound them the final round. We break the game down into rounds like a boxing match. This final round, you out-rebound them, you're going to win the game. Comes down, rebounding's tied, and during that time they got an offensive rebound put back on a block shot where we just weren't aware of the ball. Good play by them. Great play by KJ to get her fingers on a shot from a phenomenal three-point shooter, and we just weren't quite alert enough, and they went and got it and put it in. Big play, but 10 turnovers for the game. That was at like 7 in the first half that led to points off turnovers. We cut that out because they were all just silly turnovers. So we're right there. We've got to learn from it. And, the one thing our players believe now that they can compete with the best teams in the league because, they feel like they did and they feel like they let themselves down. If they had played with that same energy level, even with the mistakes, just keep the positive belief and the positive energy. You're going to know you're going to mess up. Play with that same energy level for 40 minutes and probably come out on top.
Can you talk a little bit about Abria Gulledge's lift? We feel like she had
Yep.
a very good second half for you guys.
Yeah, she did. And the last couple of days in practice, Abria's been making plays. Abria's a very, very talented player. She's one of our more talented players. But like most freshmen, she's gone through a lot, ups and downs and things. And, it's a tough year for a lot of people. But she has all sorts of ability. And, one of the best things is she's an extremely aggressive player. And, she went in, and after she went in that first time, when she went back in, she was aggressive driving the ball. She's not afraid to take a shot. You're talking about somebody who made as a freshman in high school, hit a three to win a state championship. So, she's got the guts, and that's what she did her whole career in high school, takes big shots. So she has the guts to make plays, and she lives with the consequences. She did a nice job. She got a little fatigued. But her effort stayed there on the defensive end. I think she can really add a lot to this team moving forward if she continues to do the job in practice. And then, she can go in and make plays in games. She can bring a lot to the table. Good length for a wing and great depth on her three-point shot.
Like Ed said to Jashay, was SIU's defense pushing you guys out to the three-point line?
They do a nice job with, they do a great job with their scouts, and her teams they do a nice job trying to run you out of what you run. Okay, so they'll get up and try to face guard a little bit. We were able to take advantage of it some, but they push you out. But, we took a couple of threes. I think, what did we attempt? 21. 2 of those were in the final 9 seconds where we're down 3. Thought, one of those was a great shot. The other one was the shot we wanted. So, so it's 19, 21 threes for a game for us is probably about 5 too many if we had executed better. But, I'm telling you, Leasia Wright can shoot it. What was she tonight? 0 for 3. KJ, those two are our best three-point percentage shooters, and they shoot it pretty well. They've been in the upper 30s. And KJ was 0 for 4, so we want them taking shots. A.G. Smith, they didn't guard her, and she's really been spending a lot of time in the gym working on her shot, and she was a three-point shooter in junior college. She just struggled here, but she spent a lot of time working on it, and we've told her, like, the last couple of teams we played, starting to get smart and not guard you, and you're not looking for your shot. You've got to be ready to shoot it and make people pay. And what was she tonight? 2 for 6, decent percentage. And they were big shots. They gave us a big lift when she hit them. So, you can go to that and say it's too many, but, they were all from people that can shoot the basketball. Jasmine Borders makes them in practice all the time. It's a very good shooter. So, more disappointed that we didn't make them than that we took 21. Now, if that had been 31 or 41, that's way too many. But, somewhere between 15 and 20 is probably the number this team should be shooting. But, we could have got it inside more to Kyra, to Shea on the block. Early in the game they had a guard on Shea, and she's posted up, and we didn't get her the ball enough. But, those things you learn from, and those things are going to happen.
Here it says KJ played 36 minutes and Jashay Lee played 40. What's it mean to a team when those two can go out consistently every night and get those kind of minutes?
Well, I mean, for one, it means they weren't in foul trouble too much, and Shea came out of the game, so that's like a 40 minus. But they weren't in foul trouble, so they can stay on the floor. They're veteran players. KJ's one of the best players in the league. Shea's a senior that is playing like it right now. She's rebounding. She's willing to take shots. She understands. She's very coachable. She understands if you say something to her about shot selection, she doesn't pout about it. She says, okay, I got you. You're right. That was a bad shot, and moves on. But the biggest thing with Shea, she's rebounding the basketball. KJ rebounded tonight. KJ did a good job defensively. That second half, she came out and played with a tremendous amount of energy, and then everybody raised their energy level up to match hers. And, that helped us for that full 20 minutes of the second half. So.
I noticed with KJ again, right out of the tunnel before the second half even started, she got the team together. Is that something that you're looking for more?
Yes, to me, it's the players are the ones that have to play the game. It's their team. We try to give them as much ownership in the team as possible. And coaches can say whatever they want to say, and, coaches all say a lot of the same stuff. And to be honest with you, for players, it means a lot more when it comes from a player. And, KJ has that competitive drive in her, and for her to do those things, and she doesn't need to be the only one, and she's not the only one that speaks up on our team, but she's willing to step up, and she'll say, hey, You know, I've got to play harder. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. I have to rebound more. I can't make that defensive mistake. And then she, you know, tells everybody else that they've got to do the same thing. But she always brings it back to herself. And, you know, when somebody that's as talented as she is and is willing to go out and play as hard as she plays, you know, then when we started playing the game, she was playing harder than the other 9 people on the floor, both teams, for the first couple of minutes of the second half. And so that raised our energy level up, no question.